Welcome to another episode of Music Therapy. I am John Thuen, a mental health psychotherapist, and today we are listening to Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers. Let's get into it.
I'm singing at a funeral tomorrow for a kid a year older than me.
Wow, so Phoebe here has lost a friend, it seems like, and she is performing at the funeral tomorrow. And to see someone your own age, especially while you're young, die abruptly and suddenly is one of the most sobering and harrowing experiences that a person can have. It makes you question about your own life, your own purpose. Are you living a life aligned with your values? Are you giving back in a way that's meaningful? Are you disgracing your family name? What are you doing to bring shame to yourself? All of these existential questions start circling people's heads when they lose someone they love at a young age. It's completely unjust, unfair, and it's something that many people go through. And this song is so incredible. I can already sense the existential dread and depression that she's feeling, and just the sorrow for having to perform at her peer's funeral.
And I've been talking to his dad. It makes me so sad when I think too much about it. I can't breathe.
Yeah, so when she ruminates and perseverates on this peer's death, she can't breathe. She has a physiological response, and this is mapped clinically to the freeze response. When we are overwhelmed in life, when we lose a friend, a loved one, or we're shocked, we hold our breath literally to make ourselves smaller and shrink, to avoid predation, to avoid being seen or heard. And this is a survival mechanism back to the early days to survive against tigers and lions and other predators that would have otherwise beat us up and killed us.
And I have this dream where I'm screaming underwater while my friends are waving from the shore. And I don't need you to tell me what that means. I don't believe in that stuff anymore.
Wow, what a powerful image of her drowning in the water and her friends being ashore waving like helplessly. That, I think, represents in a way the loss of the loss of her friend here, who is screaming underwater, unable to live, unable to be heard or seen or valued, and to have the friends be over there living their life and being powerless to see their friend pass away. This is really such a powerful image. I know she said, "Don't tell me what it means," but that's just my interpretation. I would love to hear your interpretations down in the comments.
Jesus Christ, I'm so blue all the time, and that's just how I feel. Always have, and I always will. I always have and always will.
This song is so powerful. She's feeling depressed. She's feeling blue. She's always felt that way. She always will feel that way. I'm sure those emotions are heightened given her circumstances of losing a friend a year older than her.
I have a friend I call when I've bored myself to tears, and we talk until we think we might just kill ourselves, but then we laugh until it disappears.
That's interesting how she has a friend to call when she has boredom, and they just kind of talk in circles. They talk about death, they talk about life, and they seem to have a pretty dry sense of humor because they're talking about dying and then laughing about it, right? And I think it's important to sometimes consider our own mortality and consider our own life and death, because we're not all going to be here forever. We have a short, limited amount of time on this earth, and it's so important to consider what we'll do with it and realize that time is limited. We don't have time to waste like an infinite, immortal being would. And so it's an important conversation to contemplate death, to prepare and then laugh about it, right? Because it's coming for all of us and no one is guaranteed immortality. So I like her perspective there of finding humor in an otherwise bleak situation. Losing her friend and talking to her friend about death are completely valid and important things to discuss.
And last night I blacked out in my car, and I woke up in my childhood bed, wishing I was someone else, feeling sorry for myself when I remembered someone's kid is dead.
Wow, that's beautiful. And she is so brilliant, and she blacked out, right? She couldn't handle the emotions, and she psychologically blocked it out and ran back to her childhood bed because she wanted to reconnect with her inner child, where death wasn't a certainty, where she didn't have to face the reality of the real world and deal with all these negative emotions. And it seems like her inner child came out and ran home in a scared state. And yeah, it's so powerful how she is feeling those negative emotions the next day, and she shouldn't minimize them by saying, hey, someone's kid is dead, my feelings aren't valid. No, Phoebe, your feelings are absolutely valid, and they are mourning this person that you've lost. But absolutely gaining perspective and seeing other people's tragedies can absolutely help you in understanding your own and giving perspective, which is what I think she's trying to do.
Jesus Christ, I'm so blue all the time, and that's just how I feel. Always have, and I always will. I always have and always will. And it's 4 a.m. again, and I'm doing nothing again.
So she's losing sleep, whether she's staying up really late or she's waking up really early, and she's mourning the loss of this friend, probably anticipation for performing at this person's funeral. And sleep, yeah, losing sleep is a total normal part of the grief processing period. It can happen 6 months to 12 months, really depends on how severe the loss was. And when we're alone at 4 a.m. in the morning, our thoughts tend to spiral, and it's really hard not to assume the worst, to think about, who else might die or what else might go wrong in your life. But taking yourself at 4 a.m. with a huge bucket of salt and not taking yourself too seriously at that time, because our minds are more prone to catastrophize late in the night, like Phoebe's doing here. Wow, what an amazing song. The instrumentals really have a beautiful sound to them, and the existential dread and her depression and her grieving process are so palpable in this song. And it's a great song if you ever need to cry, if you ever need to emotionally process, vent, work through some emotions. This song seemingly hits a chord, hits the emotional chord. I caught myself tearing up here because of how powerful this song is and how important the grieving process is, and the existential dread of what's going to happen, what's the purpose of my life, what's the meaning of my life, what am I doing here. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment with whatever song you want me to react to next. I will get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next music therapy video.